Hello, friends. Welcome. I hope all of you are doing well. Now we are ready to start. This is the second in the series of webinars with the theme Emerging from the Crisis, Doubling Your Profit with the Low Hanging Fruits of Industry 4. Now, yesterday was the inaugural session where we explained the basics or the building blocks of Industry 4.0, what I call the low hanging fruit. And why I call them low hanging fruit is because they are easily accessible and they're affordable and easily implementable. So today we'll move on to the next part where we will explain how these low hanging fruits can be used to double your profits in no time. When I use the word double, I mean it in a general sense. You could have 3 times your profit, or you could have 1.7 times the profit. But the basic general sense is that you are going to have a quantum jump, a big jump in your profits with the help of these technologies, because they are so powerful and they affect your productivity and quality in such a positive manner that you are able to achieve this jump. Now, at this point of time, I'd like to ask you, is the audio clear? Can you confirm if the audio is clear? Siddhant? Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you. So I'll continue now. So as we all know, COVID has affected industry very badly. And once the lockdown opens, the big question before everybody is going to be, how do we achieve productivity and quality with a depleted workforce? Because many of your experienced people would have gone back to their hometowns, may not return for some time. Second question, which will come to you, is how do we recover our losses? The losses that you have incurred in this time and are likely to incur in the immediate aftermath of the opening of the lockdown, when everything will be, everything will be chaotic and not smooth. So, how do you recover these losses? And then, how do you generate profits, much higher profits, in the long term? This is what I'm going to tell you. So, before we move forward, I'd like to briefly recap what I told yesterday about the 3 low-hanging fruits. First of all, Industry 4.0 is nothing but the fourth industrial revolution. The first took place 250 years ago in Britain with the invention of steam. The second took place around the beginning of the 20th century with the large-scale use of electric power and assembly lines. The third industrial revolution took place around 1970 when electronics, merged with machines, with mechanical engineering, and you had PLC controlled machines, and then you had NC, and then finally CNC. So whatever we are seeing today in most factories of the world, 99% of the factories, is some variant of Industry 3, which means more and more sophisticated versions of Industry 3. Now, difference between Industry 3 and Industry 4 is that in Industry 4, you have everything connected. So all your machines, and okay, I'll give a simple example. You can have a factory with 100 CNC machines, latest Morisiki or Mazak or some 5-axis machining centers, and that factory is still working under Industry 3 standards. Whereas you could have a factory where you have one hacksaw machine or a metal cutting machine which has a black box fitted in it, which is transmitting its data in real time. That is Industry 4. So Industry 3 or 4 has nothing to do with the type of machines. It is to do with the fact whether all your machines are connected, they are transmitting data, they are receiving instructions, they are being monitored in real time. That is Industry 4. So the first low-hanging fruit of Industry 4 is this monitoring system, universal monitoring system, wherein any machine of any make can be connected with a black box which will lift the data about its running about its downtime, about how it operated in a shift, in a day, every hour. And through cloud, it will convey the reports as well as alerts to concerned people. So this is the first low hanging fruit. Second is called predictive maintenance, where instead of waiting for a machine to go bad, instead of waiting for breakdown of a machine, or simply relying on preventive maintenance, we use technology which is basically sensors to detect the symptoms of potential diseases, future problems. So you detect those symptoms, whether it is increased vibration in the bearing, or in excessive heating of the motor, or things like that, to sort of pinpoint that, okay, this means that the assembly is misaligned, or bearing preload is not correct, or something else. And this is all done by the system. The system has the intelligence to be able to read the symptoms and give instructions to concerned people to go and take the necessary action. So third low hanging fruit is called closed loop auto corrected production, or CLAP. This is a method by which you, whatever job is made on the machine, it is automatically measured, auto analyzed, and auto corrected. The CNC is auto corrected so that you have zero defect production, near zero defect production, without relying on your skilled operator or inspectors. So these are the three low hanging fruits of Industry 4. Now we will come specifically that how you will use these tools to double your profits. I believe that there is a wonderful formula which perfectly describes what you need to do to double your profits. And this formula is called C is equal to QP square. Friends, in our student years, we all must have studied in physics the famous equation of Einstein, Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientists ever. E is equal to mc square, where E is energy, m is mass of the object, and c is the speed of light squared. So this is the formula which has led to atomic energy being released, whether productively or destructively, whether generation of power or for bombs. But this has been the most famous equation perhaps in the history of mankind. Now obviously we are much more humble than that, but I can tell you, for manufacturing sector, this equation C is equal to QP square is something you should keep in your heart. Remember it in your heart, because this is going to double your profits. This is going to increase your competitiveness by a huge amount and literally make you a global player. Now, at this point, I'd like to explain one thing, that I believe that the two words competitiveness and profits are interlinked. They are like one. So if you are competitive, you will have higher profits. If you have higher profits, you will be competitive. I don't want to go in length or at length to explain this, because this is self-evident and we have limited time. But if you think deeply, these are, competitiveness or profits, they are, दो हाथ हैं एक organization के. So these are interlinked. So this formula of raising competitiveness, where in this case C is competitiveness, is equal to QP square, where Q is quality improvement, and there are two P's which I will explain now. So please remember this formula, just as Einstein's formula E is equal to mc square has transformed physics forever. Similarly, C is equal to QP square can transform manufacturing and change your fortunes. Now, this is a simplified form so that it's easy to understand and digest. The real, if we expand this formula, C is equal to QI into PO into PE. Two types of P, so P square. Now, what is this QI, PO, PE? I'll explain now. QI is quality improvement with clap. See, what happens is whenever we talk about improvement or what extra profits it will lead to, we need to have a comparison of before and after. पहले क्या था, अब क्या है, उसका ratio. There has to be some kind of comparison. So QI is a comparison of the defectives which are being produced in a system where there is no closed loop, where Ram Prasad is the skilled operator and you have Inspector Ajab Singh. This system, whatever percentage defectives you are producing, if you on that same machine, if you talk machine to machine, on that same machine, if you put a gauging station, smart correct gauging station, and establish this clap technology, then the profits, the defectives that you will produce, if you divide the defectives now by the defectives with closed loop and take a under root of that, you get a value, which value we call QI. Now, how does this quality improvement, QI, how does it increase your profits? Very simple, self-evident, but I will still explain it. First of all, reduction in rejection is direct increase in profits, because any component which is rejected, and mostly components get rejected as they go to higher operations, more accurate operations, final operations, where the accuracy requirement or the surface finish requirement is more. So by that time, that raw material has undergone so many processes from, let's say, if we talk about a forged component, it has initially incurred the cost of forging, then the preliminary heat treatment, then the rough turning, then the finish turning, and then so many processes. So if it gets rejected at the gear cutting stage, all the previous operations have been done. So it's a huge loss of raw material as well as the effort of all those machines. Second, when you have closed loop auto-corrected production plus a smart quarantining system called SmartQ, and these are the things which I'm going to explain in the next webinar, which is going to be the putting together of all these technologies, and I will reveal some new technologies which we have recently launched along with some of our overseas partners. So there I will reveal all these things, what is smart quarantining and how we do it. But for the moment, I'm explaining that if you have this closed loop production and if you have smart quarantining system, you almost eliminate all your inspectors, and you can also reduce the cost of your operators, because instead of skilled operators who are expensive, who are scarce, who have a lot of problems associated with them, instead of them you can have relatively less skilled people, because then you don't need a person to be measuring a job, you don't need a person to be knowing the drawing of the job, you don't need a person who has to input the correction in the wear offsets of the CNC machine. So you reduce the cost of your operators and you almost eliminate inspectors. I'm saying almost because some inspectors may be needed to take care of some other things which the auto gauging cannot do, maybe some visual inspection or something else, but the number gets reduced. So all this saving, if you multiply the number of people saved and over 3 shifts, so you get a huge saving which directly goes into your profits. Now, how is this quality improvement done? This is done through 2 types of smart correct gauging stations, which are called smart correct eco and normal smart correct. So these are basically for different kind of applications. Earlier we used to have only smart correct, and then taking this thing in mind that huge number of people need auto gauging, we have come up with the economical version which can use your existing inspection systems, plug it into this device, and you can auto correct your machines. And the bonus with these is that you have digital records of all your measurements, which is also good for sharing with your customers. Now, to just summarize this quality improvement QI, so basically, once again, I'm referring to this clap cycle, how this QI is increased. So when you machine a job, it is automatically measured, auto-analyzed, and auto-corrected. This results in something which is very, very magical. How many of you would be aware of these terms CP and CPK. So CP is called process capability, and CPK is basically measuring how well centered your process is. Because time is very short, so I cannot show you those slides, with the bell curve and tolerance limit or wo kahan hai. But later on in our discussions, we can one-to-one, we can always discuss this in detail. Please understand that this is a very, very magical formula. CPK greater than 0.9 into CP. If you are able to achieve it, and you do achieve it with the help of these gauging stations, it means you will have zero defect quality without any skilled operators and without inspectors. Second, now we come to productivity. Now, if you remember the magic formula, C is equal to QP square. There were two P's, that is why P square. One P, and by P I mean productivity increase. One P is called PO, and second P is called PE. PO is the productivity increase by process optimization, and PE is the productivity increase by increase in the OEE. This is something you need to understand very, very deeply. देखिए, simple भाषा में आपको एक चीज समझाता हूं मैं. Let's take the example of a CNC lathe, because that's very easy for everybody to understand. Imagine that you have a floor-to-floor time of 1 minute 10 seconds. Okay? 70 seconds. And in each shift, you are actually working out of the 480 minutes, let's say 70 minutes you take out for the lunch and other necessities. Your machine is actually working for 300 minutes. Okay? So you are producing some 250 or some parts. Now, imagine that on one hand, you reduce your cycle time from 70 seconds, or rather floor to floor time from 70 seconds to 60 seconds. And then at the same time, if your earlier OEE was 70%, you are able to increase it to 83%. So the magic is in the compounding. एक तो cycle time reduce हो गया, so हर घंटे में ज्यादा parts बनेंगे. दूसरा, अगर आप रियल सेंस में पहले 6 घंटे काम आपकी मशीन चल रही थी, वो अब 7 घंटे चलने लग गई, तो घंटे भी बढ़ गए. So more number of pieces per hour multiplied by actual running more hours, it means huge jump in productivity, and that straight away goes to your profits, to your bottom line. I will explain. Again, as I mentioned earlier, there are two types of productivity improvements. PO, through process optimization. That means you reduce your cutting time as well as non-cutting time through some methods, which I call super optimized machines, which I will show also. Second is PE, productivity improvement through increase in OE of the machine. This is achieved through UMM. Okay. And further, it can be improved with automation, which I will refer to in my next webinar. There we will focus on all these issues, including automation, including some new technologies, which we will announce on Tuesday. Productivity improvement of two types: process improvement through reduction in cycle time, through reduction in the cutting and non-cutting time of a machine, by using super optimized machines, and I'll show you a small video clip to explain that. And second, PE is by using UMM. When you use UMM, you are able to monitor the performance of the machines, which leads to increase in the OE. Now, automation also is a big help. And in our next webinar, we are going to talk about all these things put together. And we are also going to release some new technologies. We'll show you some very exciting things which can totally transform the way you work and take you to the next level, global level. So as I mentioned earlier, there is a compounding effect, P square, because PO multiplied by PE. I'll give you an example. Suppose you increase your process optimization by 10%, okay, and you increase your PE by 14%. When you multiply this, the net effect is 25% increase in productivity. So if you were producing 400 parts per day, you are now producing 500 parts with the same people, with the same equipment, in the same factory, with the same space. So when you, from 400, you go to 500, 25% increase. It has a dramatic effect on your profits. I have some calculations which I can share with you, spreadsheets where I have simulated all this. I have found that depending on job to job and what kind of hourly rate or what kind of piece rate you are getting for that job, I can demonstrate to you through those calculations that a 25% increase in productivity increases your profit per component by 50 to 80%. 50 से 80% आपकी profits बढ़ जाते हैं if you improve your productivity by 25%. And I can, if you make a request after this in the feedback form, I will be very happy to share this sheet with you, and you can actually put in your own figures. You can put in your own what price you get for that particular component, and all the data about cycle time and other things, and you put the increase in productivity over there, and it will show to you how your profits will increase by so much. So this is something which I'll be happy to share with you. So how is PO achieved? PO, as I mentioned, process optimization. This is achieved through machining time reduction, cycle time reduction. So machining time, non-machining time, both, through more rigid machines with special features like vibration damping, high pressure coolant, which allow them to machine at higher parameters with lower tool cost. Now this is the key, that you reduce the cycle time and also reduce the cost of the tools. And these are the two biggest things which affect the cost of manufacturing of a component. So if both things go down, your profits go up. And I'll show you a small clip to explain this. Before I show you that, there are two technologies in turning, CNC turning. One is high pressure coolant and other is monoblock structure with vibration damping. These are very, very powerful technologies. High pressure coolant is a boon. It not only smashes your chips and leads to better evacuation, but also reaches the tip of the tool where the cutting is taking place. In normal machines with normal pressure, the coolant is not able to penetrate to the zone where the cutting is taking place. With high pressure coolant, with pressure between 20 to 70 bar, the coolant is able to reach the point where the metal is being cut, and it cools the tip over there. It allows you to operate at higher speeds and yet gives you higher insert life. Second thing is monoblock structure with vibration damping. See, if you have to use the latest tools to the full potential of those tools, you need to have machines which are vibration resistant so that they can be operated at higher speeds with higher rapid movement of the slides. For that, you need monoblock structures. The most prevalent technology right now is to have separate structures, bed separate, base separate, you bolt everything together. This does not allow for super optimized performance. It does not allow you to operate at the very best speeds. So you need monoblock, and you also need a technology which was originally developed in US, but that patent is over now. It is called Harcrete, and we have adopted this technology. We fill our structure with this epoxy-like mix called Harcrete, which is allowed to cure for some time. And this is like a vibration sink. It sucks the vibrations which are produced during cutting as well as non-cutting when you are moving at very high speeds. So this allows this high performance. Now I'll show you a small video clip to show these technologies. So this is how you increase PO, process optimization. Now the second P which affects your profits is productivity jump through OEE increase. Now how do you increase the OEE? You increase it through universal machine monitoring. And let me tell you, currently, if you see factories across the country, the OEE is quite poor. I have visited hundreds of factories. In fact, I visit hundreds of factories every year. And let me tell you, both PO and PE and QI are quite poor. If these are improved to their true potential, you will not have doubling, you will have maybe 3 or 4 times the profits. I tell people, factory owners, plant heads, production managers, I tell them that if you are having a net profit of X%, let's say for the sake of discussion, 5% net profit, then the easily avoidable loss is 2 times that. 10% is what is going down the drain every day because of poor QI, because of poor PO and poor PE. All these are terrible and they need to be improved drastically. Now, why do you need to have a UMM system? We discussed UMM yesterday. I briefly reintroduced UMM today, Universal Machine Monitoring, without human intervention. Why do you need it? You need it because every machine shop is having these typical problems. Frequently, machines are stopping for various reasons. And you don't know why machine has stopped. Somebody will say, जी इसमें तेल डालना था, इसमें ये करना था, job change होना था, material नहीं है, tool insert proper नहीं मिली मुझे store से, whatever. But huge number of stoppages, unscheduled stoppages. Second is inconsistent performance of operator. Friends, let me share with you, we supplied some automated line to one of our esteemed customers. And while we were installing that, we had a chance to see the same product being made on manual machines, large number of manual machines. And our people could see this over many days because it took some time for us to establish that line and also to hand it over. And what I saw was so shocking that for each machine, let's say machine number 11, and then there is machine number 12, 13, 14, which are making the same job and each running 3 shifts. Now, performance for the same job, varying from machine to machine, shift to shift in a random manner. पता ही नहीं है कि आज अगर if you know today on in one shift you have made 150 pieces, next shift you will make 180 or you will make 110. Unknown. The variation was all over, random. And this is the main reason for this is operators. राम प्रसाद का मूड क्या है, वो घर बीवी से लड़के आया है, you know, what his mental condition is. Because of that, you are going to have these variations, which have a terrible effect on your profits. Third, there is no reliable method of collection of data so that you can analyze what the problem is. I saw in this factory, in all factories, even in USA, in one factory I saw, they have these whiteboards on that वो table बना के उसमें लिखा होता है machine number, how many parts made, somebody is filling that with a marker pen. That in today's world, if you are collecting data like that, first of all, it's subjected to human bias. The person who's filling, uska bias hai beech mein. Second thing is that if the data does not reach you in a very well presented manner, tabulated manner in real time, that I'm sitting at my table somewhere, I want to know what's going on. If I cannot access the data immediately, and I cannot have a type in, and if I cannot get it, if I want in the form I want, hourly, shift wise, day to day, machine to machine comparison. If I can't get the data like that, I cannot make the improvements. So these are the real problems of machine shops. What is the solution? UMM. UMM, again I'll repeat, universal machine monitoring, which can be done on any machine of any make, CNC, non-CNC, power press, die casting machine, anything. So why it's universal? Because it fits on any machine, and it is characterized by a word. There is a word which describes the properties of a perfect universal monitoring technology. At least it applies to our technology. That word is Trump, the name of the US president. It's something you can't forget. So Trump stands for, the T is tamper proof, R stands for reliable, U stands for universal, M stands for maintenance free, and P stands for plug and play. These are the core properties or qualities of a good UMM system. And the UMM picks the data from the machine. It takes it to the cloud, where we have a secure server, or we have a secure system with software and storage. And this is on Microsoft. There, the data is crunched, it's analyzed through various formulas, and it comes to you in a very nice manner in different types of reports. And you also have the capacity to set alerts. For example, in most machine shops, one of the biggest losses is during the shift change. So when your shift changes, before that, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, before that, the operator switches off the machine, goes to wash his hand, face, change his clothes, talk to friends, and then he wants to be out of the gate right at the time when the siren sounds. This is human psychology. And if you don't have a UMM system, ensuring that your supervisors are scolding people, going and checking, ye machine band kyun hua, ye kyun hua, it's an impossible task, especially in a bigger industry where there are dozens of machines, if not hundreds. But when you have a UMM, it is going to tell you exactly how many minutes before shift end the machine stopped. And it's going to collect that data shift by shift, week by week, so that you have a total idea how the variation is happening. And you can also pinpoint, कि राम प्रसाद की machine पे ये हो रहा है, श्याम की machine पे नहीं हो रहा, or vice versa. Similarly, there is a problem that shift starts, people enter the factory, but machines don't start. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 25 minutes in some cases. So again, the UMM helps you to, it gives you the exact data, what is happening on each machine after shift change. So you know which are the guilty people, or there may be a system problem also. Maybe whatever is there, you are able to take action because you have the data. Another problem, people sleep at night. Everybody knows it. That third shift, night shift, people sleep for 2 hours, 3 hours. Now, you don't know that all the people sleep. It may be in one section, maybe in this shop or that person on
You are just generalizing. People also know that after waking up, the operators increase the speed of the machine. In case of CNC machines, we call it feed override. Override का switch, which normally is at 100%, it is put to 120%. People know it, but they have no proof because there are no managers in that shift, and it is very difficult to go to machine and machine. And sometimes people feel threatened also that if you go and do it, people may, sort of obstruct you or even attack you. But with the UMM, you have exact data which machine was stopped from 12 at night to 2 p.m. and then was its speed increased because you have the standard cycle time. So you know that the cycle time has reduced by so much. You can calculate. So this helps you to tackle this problem in whatever way. Maybe you give them an option of sleeping for 3 hours and then working, but you can also install systems which do not allow the machines to run at 120% because that causes a lot of tool breakages. So UMM and the reports and alerts that you get is a total game changer, and the way it is done, the way it is applied through a process called baselining, that when you install it, you do not do anything for 1 week or 2 weeks, just observe. And when you have a pattern, then you take action. Okay, यहाँ पे ये action लेना है, यहाँ पे ये लेना है, यहाँ पे tool change पे ज़्यादा time लग रहा है, यहाँ पे night में सो रहे हैं, whatever. Once you start initiating the action, the results come in, and typically we have so many case studies from here and our US partner Machine Metrics, which is one of the top industrial IoT platforms in the world, based in Boston, US. So we have studies here done by Marshall and a lot of studies done by Machine Metrics, which has more than 10,000 installations and presence in many countries. So those studies show that typically over a period of 1 to 2 months, you get 15 to 20% extra OEE, and you also get a reduction in your tool consumption. I will share some of the data here. So this is typically, by the way, the dashboard of Machine Metrics, where all kinds of reports can be generated. So because of lack of time, I cannot go into length in this, but there are many types of information that you get in different forms, which help you to really improve the performance of your machine shop. Not just simply in OE, but also tool cost reduction, power saving, so many things. For example, you can get data that your machine is powered on, but it is not running. I mean, it is wasting a lot of power because your hydraulic system is on, your AC is on, other things are on, but machine on karke aadmi chala gaya. So there are so many ways in which this information which you get through the UMM, that information helps you to really operate your machine shop in the best possible manner, optimum manner. So this is a study done in India by us, where after installing the UMM and observing over a period of time and then starting to take action, we had an 18% increase in OE. Data accuracy reached 99%, and the return on investment for this technology, for the cost of the UMM, was just 3 months. 3 mahine mein uski cost recover ho gayi. And 30% reduction in accidents and tool breakages in the night shift, because we came to know, or rather the customer came to know, and they took our help, and we set up a system jisme they could not increase the speed, plus they sort of made some flexi hours for resting and things like that, which I cannot reveal because this is the customer's information. They used some methods of persuasion and compromise with which they were able to ensure that their tool breakages in the night shift did not take place. So 30% saving. And tool cost saving is pure profit. It straight away goes to your bottom line. So here is data shared by Machine Metrics USA. for a customer of theirs called AccuRounds. So there they have a 20% increase in OE, 15% cumulative reduction in tooling, and they even have a 52% reduction in turnover of the employees. Now, this is also a very important thing to understand, that when you have an unmonitored system, a system which is not scientifically monitored, okay, what happens is that you tend to blame everybody. अगर नाइट शिफ्ट में आपको पता है कि something wrong is happening, you will say, and I'm sorry for using a unparliamentary word, but just to make my point, you will say सब हरामखोर है, सब सोते हैं. Now, if there are some people who are actually honest people who are not doing those things, they feel demotivated because the anger of the management is spread in all directions, because there is no particular person or machine you can pinpoint, okay, this is the cause of the problem. Because of that, there is a lot of turnover of people. When you have a monitored system which is fair, because monitoring means you are fair, so the bad people will go, good people will stay, and then you can replace the bad people with better people. So ultimately your turnover of employees reduces. You have a more stable workforce. And in their case, as you can see here, 60 days was the return of investment for this technology. Now, how do you implement these technologies in your machine shop so that you can double your profit? I will give you a brief roadmap today, and then we'll have a question answer session. And in the final session, which will be slightly longer because we will be focusing on automation, we'll be giving you specific technologies like IoTQ, Internet of Things for Quality. We will give you the whole framework. Now, what you can do to make your machine shop, your factory world class, so that you wipe out your losses because of COVID. You become super competitive, whether in the domestic market or in the export market. And let me tell you one thing. Here I'm just interrupting this normal presentation and sharing something. Marshall is the first Indian machine builder to set up a company in US, which is called Marshall Automation America, and set up a tech center in Atlanta. Atlanta happens to be in the heart of the Southeast US, which is the new center for all manufacturing. All the new manufacturing of automotives, aerospace, and other such things is centered in those 7 states of the Southeast, and Atlanta is in the heart. And we've been there now for more than a year. Our tech center opened in February last year. So we are part of that local ecosystem, manufacturing ecosystem. And it helps us to gain a lot of knowledge about what is going on in such an advanced country. How are the machine shops operating? What are their problems? How they are adopting technology or automation or other things. So we have a first-hand feel of what manufacturing is in India and what it is in USA. So let me tell you, a lot of problems which we face here with Ram Prasad are also faced with a typical machine shop owner with his experienced operator, Bob. Change sirf yahi hai that here we have Ram Prasad, there they have Bob. Most of the systems in their machine shops are also as old as our systems. Many of the systems. Old ways of measuring, old ways of managing. I went to a plant in Iowa state, which is one of the farming states, where there are a lot of factories for, farm machinery. So I went to this machine shop, and their machine shop manager, who was 60 plus, white man, American, but those old ideas that this is how I will improve my factory. He wanted some technology. He wanted to discuss gauging stations. But I also saw that his machine monitoring was extremely poor. It was just like what I talked earlier, board ke upar likha hua. So I said, this is how you check how your output is. He says, what else is there? So when I told their vice president that we can give you this machine monitoring, he was so excited that he took me inside to meet their group CEO who controls 9 plants. So why I'm saying all this is that first, if we speak now with confidence, this confidence is based on facts, on observation of big and small factories in India and big and small factories in USA. So it's not I'm sitting in my office and speaking. It is observation. Second thing is, you people have a great opportunity. If you modernize your factories, if you install these technologies, improve your competitiveness, improve your profits, you can sell to anybody in the world. The whole world is your market. It will be such a boost to your self-confidence, and I'm going to talk about this precise point in the next webinar, that how you can raise your level that you become a global player. And usme automation ka element bhi bada important hai, which we will talk next time. So now coming back to this, how do you implement these things? The first thing is, my personal philosophy is small is beautiful. Start small, which means do a pilot project. To do a pilot project, you select your lines which are most critical. Okay, this line is giving to Hero MotoCorp this particular critical component, or this line is for Bosch. This is a critical line. So you either implement in an entire line, or within that line, you pick up 2-3 bottleneck machines, critical machines, where you have these problems कि उनमें poor productivity या poor quality होने से आपका your entire output gets affected. And then, so I call them production bottlenecks from the productivity point of view, and I call them quality traps. कि यहाँ पे जाके defectives produce होते हैं, they are quality traps. Okay, so you identify them, and then you initiate pilot projects. Pilot project में 3 component होने चाहिए. You should have quality improvement through CLAP. You should have productivity improvement through process optimization. So, and you must have productivity improvement through OEE increase. तीनों चीजें. You must, the pilot must comprise of improvement in quality, improvement in process optimization, so PO, and improvement in OEE. All the 3 things, maybe on different machines. Now, when you implement these solutions, you have to scientifically monitor the effectiveness of these solutions. So when you talk about quality, what is the percentage fall in defectives? You have to record very, very meticulously. When you record the effectiveness of PO, what percentage has your cycle time declined, reduced? When you monitor PE, what is your average OEE increase? Okay, so these have to be very scientifically monitored. And then this table which you see, or rather this cycle that you see, this graphic that you see, this is the mantra that aap problem ko detect karo. So detection here means identifying where you want to do the pilot, implement the solution, monitor the effectiveness, and continue with the improvements. So let me give an example, that if you are talking about UMM, you have installed a UMM to increase the PE of a particular machine. Now, the poor OE of the machine was because of various reasons. It could be because of the availability, A. It could be because of the performance, B. And when we talk about A, the common culprits are job changeover and tool change. And third culprit is late starting of the machine after shift change and early stoppage, and many more. Like, material movement is poor. So material is ready, the forging is ready, but somebody did not bring it to the machine on time. So many things, and these are all different for different factories, for different machine shops. So you have to detect your problems, and then you have to start solving them one by one, so that you can solve them really well. That is why this is a continuous cycle. एक बार आप detect करोगे problem, which is your tool change over time. आपने उसके लिए कोई system बनाया that instead of taking so many minutes, the tool change should take only 3 minutes, for example. उसकी effectiveness देखी कि हाँ आपका OE कितना बढ़ा. Then job changeover जब होता है, आप system ऐसा बनाओ कि person does not have to stop the machine, go find different fixture, go find setting setting material, other things. Everything should come to him, and it should be designed in such a manner that it's quickly changeable. So on and so forth. Suppose किसी factory के अंदर one of the reasons for poor availability A is that power keeps tripping. Okay, you do a calculation, install UPS. A lot of factories I know now, they run on UPS because they realize that the cost of restarting machines and all that is huge, and those UPS will pay for itself in 1.5 years. So ये continuous cycle है. You focus on some improvement, do it, measure how much you have increased your OE, then do some other improvement, and so on. And this cycle will continue. So friends, my session today ends, and to learn more, and the next one is going to be the mega webinar when we will reveal a lot of things including automation.